got me? One one one. 111 111 111. All right, and then we probably need to check the Zoom, right? Probably need to check the Zoom.
Yeah.
One, two, coming through on the Zoom. 1 2 coming through on the Zoom. 1 2 coming through on the Zoom.
Okay, let's
1 2 coming through on the Zoom.
we got Zoom on here.
One two. Is it coming through YouTube? Okay. So remember, when I'm talking through YouTube, that's when you got to turn me up, and then when I talk on the mic, that's when you turn me down.
Actually, no, everything's coming through perfect.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah, like you can hear it now.
Perfect. All right.
Yeah, so we just
Good. Thank you. Yes, we are. That is a true story.
So, do you need this open? This. How would we just take some of the strain off the CP unit?
I think keep it up. But
Zoom in.
no, no.
Oh. What do you mean? Oh. Okay, I gotta go.
Now that'll get grayed out.
So, yeah,
See what I'm saying? That's what I mean by like getting it. It's ready. It's already live.
Yep.
You just have to watch what the shit mix, you know.
Fine.
Oh, it smells good in here.
Hey, remember
There's one over there.
I said you were too Zoom. Get that light so that the projector shows up a little bit nicer.
So where's the front light at? Right
Yeah.
underneath the thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
You have a little yeah.
The bathroom.
Oh, no, sister, grab one of the keys right there, you pass the bathroom, as soon as you, get off the stairs or the elevator, it's right there by the water fountain.
Okay, you open that.
Yeah, don't use it in there.
That's not the
But
bathroom.
it set up, I walked in there and I put it around, I said, this is not.
That ain't the
bad.
bathroom.
No.
That's just right around the corner. Oh, thank you. Yes.
Thank you, Alan. And I'm talking about the food, or you talking about my ear freshener?
Oh,
You
no,
talking
no,
about the food, right?
no, I'm talking about the fresh in here. That's what I walked in, I said, oh, it smells good in here.
Yeah, this is real good
But
too.
I want, wait, I want to check this out. What's it say? Oh, what we gonna do is you got 240 pounds of chicken. Yeah.
Have you seen my backyard?
No.
I have 4 full-size freezers in my backyard.
Yeah. It takes a while for that. I only got 80 pounds. I only got 40 or 60 pounds. Well, you know, yeah, I was in training. I'm in critical message.
What? Hey, Rex, can you turn that down? How many do you need? Oh, I got 2 kids. Hey, Rex, can you turn that down? I can't even hear. got a miracle here. Yeah, he got a miracle here. Yeah, he got a bionic eye. One, two, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, no, yeah, you're good. Yeah, come on down. That is
¿A dónde?
all right, we'll let everyone come on in and settle in.
No, no, yes. I have
How's everybody doing today? Good? My mic going? All right. All right, everyone. Thank you for coming. My name is Marwan Cameron. For those of you that don't know me, I am the executive director of Gather Together, Grow Together, and the Conduit Podcast. I just want to give a round of applause for the cooks. They prepared the food today. I have an awesome team, and I just want to let them know that I appreciate them. We are here today for a community conversation with retired Judge Docter. And so he'll be coming to speak to us here in just a minute. But first, I want to introduce Martitha May. Oh, okay. To tell you a little bit about Martitha, she immigrated from Mexico, from Sinaloa, city of Culiacan. I said that correctly. Hey. She's passionate about helping the community. As you know, you see Martitha everywhere. She's tireless, right? And she organized this today. And so we are tremendously grateful for all the work that Martitha does, bringing community together. And she crosses racial lines and boundaries. And for her, it's really about getting people together. She is the co-founder of the Kitsap Immigration, which is Kayak Center, and the founder and executive director of the Mesa Redonda. She's the president of that. She's been helping the Kitsap community for many years. I don't even know how many years. we won't say. We won't say. I met Martitha while I was teaching at Olympic College. And so it's an honor to connect with her outside of the college and continue to do our work in the ways that we do it. She has helped with vaccines, housing, domestic violence, attending court, as she knows all these folks here. So just a really passionate and engaged person in the community. So let's give her a round of applause. So I'm going to have Martitha come up.
Voy a interpretar un poquito lo que también, y ya después tú.
Okay. So what I say, I'm going to interpret what it was said in the beginning. We have a Spanish and Canjoval interpreter here, and I'm going to say it in Spanish too. So, buenas tardes a todos, muy bienvenidos. Hoy, ya se me está olvidando el español y el inglés tampoco hablo. I'm forgetting English. No, I don't speak English. Gracias. Just is an honor having you here. It's an honor. Everybody, every single one of you, from here all the way to the back. Gracias. Thank you por estar aquí. So, estaba diciendo, él estaba, Marwan, él tiene una organización y estaba diciendo él que están hablando de lo que estamos haciendo aquí, una conversación con juez y también estaba presentándome que lo que he hecho en la comunidad y todo eso, muchas cosas, pero no voy a tirarme flores, ¿ok? So, y tenemos a nuestro intérprete cuando Judge empiece ahorita a hablar sobre lo que venimos de la conversación con la comunidad, de las obligaciones que tengan ustedes con la corte, si alguien ha hecho tenido un DUI o cosas como drogas y todo eso, ¿verdad? Que les corte les pide que hagan, la importancia y el querer hacerlo. Es muy importante, así que de eso se va a tratar ahorita. Just was saying also in English and Spanish what he said in the beginning. I didn't say much about me, so it's not about me. It's about someone else here. So in the community. So again, thank you. And what can I say? It's just a privilege having you all here, and everybody. I want to thank also Pastor Johnson for being here, and I want to thank everybody, and as well everybody who made that food that was delicious. Thank you for all this amazing support to everybody. So gracias, and I leave you here. Okay. So when Josh started speaking,
All right, so we're going to have Pastor Richmond Johnson come down, pastor of Mount Zion Missionary Baptist, my dad's church when he was still with us. If you'll come on down, Pastor.
Good evening, each of you. Give honor to God, to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I'm really thankful for our moderator, Master Ceremony, Pastor Ellerton. And Makita has a passion that connects with Judge Docter. Judge Docter has a passion for helping people beyond what we see. You know, a lot of times when somebody commit a crime, you identify them with that crime. But I've seen Judge Docter look beyond people's faults and see their needs. When we started Partner for Youth Achievement back in 2009, one of our great mentors, who is also a advocate and supporter of Judge Docter, Mrs. Harriet Bryan, was our senior mentor coordinator, and she continued to arrange for our PYA youth. And at the time, we're working with the SHS, we worked with at-risk youth, and I had identified all youth as at risk, regardless of what type of family background they had. Youth were at a point where there was a risk factor involved, and the risk factor was the pipeline from school to prison. And so we had our youth go to Judge Docter's court. And the one thing that I was telling him that we got from that was understanding the rule of law and how he administrated justice. But we saw a judge that had a sense of humor. And the one thing that he'd said recently, and I questioned the meaning of it, was he was able to handle his duties as judge because his personality is optimistic. And I wanted to know, what did that actually mean? And so he put some definition behind optimism as the person. He saw good in people. He was looking for, even though they may have to pay for the crime. You don't do the crime if you can't do the times. You know, he wasn't letting people all off the hook. But a lot of people were not going to jail. They were doing community service. And so that's kind of where we are now. We can't lock our way out of this. And I believe that Judge Docter is going to continue to be a good mentor here, or wherever he go. One reason is, we're getting ready to, I'm just about finished. One reason is he loves his mother. You know, come on. And his mother is 104 years old. And, you know, I got some brothers in the back who can sing that song, "I'll always love my mother. She's my favorite girl." Come on, she brought me in this world. And so when you're a mother's boy, come on, help me if you can, and you have that heart for mother, you pick up a love from mother. And see, a mother loves you when you don't love them back. Come on, I'm telling you. And the pain of a judge that has a mother's love is that he has a love that will help you be better. But when you reject that love, it's a hurt. You know, it hurts the judge when he got a personality of empathy and optimism, because he's seeing you rejecting a love that can make you better. Okay, I'm going to stop there. But thank God for Judge Docter. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I was supposed to say something. I didn't know I was supposed to pray. We praying. Father God, we just thank you for the joy that you continue to give us. Lord God, we know the joy of the Lord is our strength. Lord God, when we don't have happiness, we thank you for a judge that showed us you could have joy. Lord God, we come believing just now that you're going to continue to use him, protect him. Lord God, we thank you for the relationship he had with his mother. And we believe, Lord, that you are keeping her here for such a time as this, to be an encouragement to all mothers, and let mothers know that when they get old and they can't help themselves, they raise their children in a way that the children will not forget them, will not forsake them. Lord, we cancel every plan the devil have for these people that's gathered here today. And we thank you, Lord God, that you're going to continue to use us to be better. And we believe that because of Judge Docter, we are better. In Jesus' name. Come on, put them hands together. Thank God for Jesus.
Amen.
All right. So pastors never met a mic they didn't like. Just the facts, ma'am. Just the facts. All right. So Judge Docter is going to come and speak to us about the importance of earnest commitment to court-ordered substance abuse treatment obligations. Now, admittedly, I don't think I've ever met Judge Docter. I think that is a good thing. But I've heard a lot about Judge Docter, quite a bit, from folks that work with him, from folks that have come through his courtroom. And so your name echoes throughout all of Kitsap County. And it's all been good. It's all been good. A little bit about Judge Docter. He was born and raised in Seattle. After graduating with a degree in forestry from the University of Washington, he served as Peace Corps volunteer in Guatemala from 1977 to 1979, working in reforestation and soil conservation. After graduating from law school, he worked as a public defender for 9 years in Kitsap County District and Superior Courts. In 1997, he became the first elected municipal court judge in Kitsap County, serving as Bremerton Municipal Court judge for 24 years. I don't know what you've done for 24 years, but there isn't a lot that I can say that I've done for 24 years. That's phenomenal. Now retired, Judge Docter works part-time as an individualized treatment court facilitator for Shelton Municipal Court. He lives in Bremerton with his 2 cats, Luna and Bailey. Byla. Byla. All right. So with no further ado, please give a warm applause for Judge Docter.
All right. Thank you very much for all that. I'm happy to be here and very glad that you asked me to come and speak. I'm also glad that I have some of my colleagues here with me. To my left, I have Commissioner Seaman, who has worked for me for a dozen years did work for me for a dozen years in Bremerton Municipal Court, and Gina Buskirk, who also was our prosecutor for about that same amount of time. And we had a real good team there, and it's great to have these guys here to make sure I don't say something that's not correct.
Buenas tardes. Él es el juez que está jubilado, que va a hablar sobre muchachos que han cometido un crimen o algo y que fueron al corte. Y él va a explicar unos pocos sobre eso.
So I thought I'd start with some of the basics here, and my perspective is going to be from municipal court, since that's where I spent my career as a judge, even though I did practice in district and superior courts as well. As you know, in this country and most countries around the world, there are three branches of government.
Él va a hablar sobre el corte municipal. I'm sorry, you said three?
And I also practice in superior court and district court.
Él ha sido un juez de dos tipos de jueces, so él va a hablar un poco de eso.
The people elect the legislature to represent them, and the legislature enacts laws, many of which are criminal laws, to protect the public from dangerous behavior.
Hay un tipo de crimen de que protegen a la comunidad de cómo reaccionan, cómo se comportan, que no quieren que el comunidad se está en peligro.
So these are what we call criminal laws, and when you face a criminal law or you violate a criminal law, you face the prospect of going to jail. And that, of course, is something that begins with the executive branch, the executive branch, which usually would be the mayor or the commissioners and the prosecutors and law enforcement. They will get you charged with a crime, and then you will need to go see a judge.
Hay algunos crímenes que puedes ir en corte y el juez o otros diferentes tipos de que están encargados pueden mandárselos en la cárcel.
So a court has many functions. The primary function of the court is to protect your rights if you are accused of a crime, and to make sure that you're represented by an attorney. And if you cannot afford an attorney, the court will appoint an attorney to represent you at no charge to you.
Si ustedes no traen un abogado, el juez le van a dar un abogado.
There are other rights that the courts uphold for you, including the right to a jury trial, the right to remain silent, the right to question witnesses, and the right to have your case proved beyond a reasonable doubt. And in the event that you're convicted, you also have the right to appeal to a higher court.
Ellos tienen derecho de que ustedes pueden quedarse callados, y ellos tienen derecho de enviarlos a otro diferente juez.
And of course, you're also presumed innocent unless and until a jury or a judge finds you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt.
Hasta que un juez vea que usted tiene la culpa, y allí deciden más.
So if you are convicted of a crime, the judge can sentence you for a case of a misdemeanor, which is normally what we have in municipal and district court, can sentence you up to 364 days in jail.
Un juez te puede mandar a la cárcel como unos 364 días en la cárcel.
In this day and age, you might not be convicted of a crime that you committed. You might have the opportunity to enter into an agreement with the prosecutor, which is known as a pre-trial diversion agreement, or you might have the opportunity to go to a therapeutic court.
Si el juez te da otro chance, ustedes pueden tener su caso ido en apelación para que deciden otra vez qué hacer.
And on that day, when that day of reckoning arrives, you may think that your work in court is over, but the reality is your work is just beginning. Your court obligations have just begun.
Ustedes van a pensar que su corte se ha terminado, pero solo se está empezando.
Typically, a judge in this county and all across the state of Washington will not require you to go to jail for 364 days, but the judge will suspend the vast majority of that time, meaning it will not have to be served as long as you follow through with what the judge directs you to do.
En el estado de Washington, el juez podrá decidir que ustedes no van a cárcel por 364 días si ustedes siguen lo que el juez dice.
If your behavior involved the use of drugs or alcohol or mental health issues or domestic violence, typically the judge will require you to get an evaluation to determine if you need treatment for any of these issues.
El juez, si ustedes tienen I'm sorry, you said not or yes to violence.
Domestic violence.
Okay. Si ustedes cometen un error como de violencia doméstica, toman alcohol o drogas, va a ser más peor.
The judge will put an emphasis on treatment because if you can get treated for those issues, you're less likely to go out and commit new crimes, and the public will be better protected by treatment rather than having you incarcerated.
Les van a mandar en tratamientos porque si ellos les dejan salir en la comunidad va a ser más peor y eso no va a servir para nada.
So if you're new to court and new to criminal behavior, the judge might give you 364 days in jail with 363 days suspended, and he or she might have you do 1 day of community service and then go get your evaluation and follow through with whatever treatment is recommended for you.
El juez tal vez te va a dar 364 días en la cárcel, más 63 más y un día de servicio de la comunidad.
Now, treatment will vary depending on who you are and what your upbringing has been and how bad an issue that you have. It could be as little as an 8-hour class or as much as 2 years of 2 years of treatment, including intensive inpatient treatment.
Les podrán dar dos años de tratamiento y unas clases de 8 horas.
So if that happens and you are directed to do treatment and you do your treatment, you will not have to go to jail anymore or at all for that crime.
Si el crimen no es tan grave, podrán hacer esos 8 horas y no ir a la cárcel.
However, if you fail to comply with what the treatment requires of you, then the prosecutor will ask the judge to impose some or all of the 363 days that the judge suspended in your case.
Si ustedes no cumplen eso, tal vez el juez puede cambiar de opinión y subir el día más.
So when that happens, you will be directed, when the prosecutor files a motion to have that suspended time imposed, you will be directed to return to court and face the judge.
Podrán regresar al corte y ver al juez.
The judge will hold a hearing to determine whether or not you did fail to comply with what he or she had ordered in your case.
Para ver si ustedes fallaron lo que el juez obligó a ustedes que hagan.
If you don't appear at that hearing, there will be a bench warrant issued for your arrest, and you will likely end up in jail when you are contacted by law enforcement.
Si ustedes no llegan al corte, podrán ir a la cárcel.
If you do appear at that hearing, you have a new set of rights, including the right to an attorney and the presumption that you did not violate your suspended sentence.
Si ustedes llegan al corte, ustedes tienen derecho a un abogado.
And you can require that the prosecutor prove to the judge that you did not comply with his order.
Y para que prueban que ustedes siguieron los órdenes.
And in that case, if it is determined that you violated his order, his or her order, you may or may not be given an opportunity to try to remedy your failure. Most likely you will be given one or two opportunities to try to remedy your failure to comply.
Si ustedes llegan y ustedes violaron el orden que el juez les dieron.
If you don't, you may or may not be given another opportunity to comply with the treatment that was originally ordered for you.
Okay, tal vez no van a tener opciones de arreglar las cosas.
So what ultimately ends up happening is if you fail to comply with the judge's order, ironically, you will likely serve more jail time than you would have been required to serve for the original crime.
Si ustedes no siguen el orden del juez, el juez les podrán dar más años para ir a la cárcel.
More time.
Más años.
Not más años. Más tiempo.
Más tiempo, perdón.
Because speaking of años, so años is years. You don't in municipal court we don't get to sentence you to more than a year, but in superior court, if you committed a felony, then you can go to prison for a year or more.
Ellos dan más tiempo, no años, no tienen derecho a eso, pero si el caso es más peor, sí les dan más años.
Furthermore, many crimes in the lower courts involve offenses, involve driving a motor vehicle, and for those crimes, if you're convicted, you will lose your driver's license.
Si ellos les cachan a ustedes manejando un carro, les pueden. I'm sorry, can you say that again?
If you commit a crime that involves driving, you will lose your driver's license or your privilege to drive in this state.
Perderán el derecho de manejar o les van a quitar el licencia.
And that's true even if you don't have a driver's license. Your privilege to get a driver's license will be suspended unless and until you comply with the treatment that was ordered in your case.
Si ustedes no tienen una licencia, va a ser más difícil de agarrar uno hasta que cumplen con sus tratamientos.
And you may lose your license for many months or even years, and you will be required to have high-risk insurance for 3 years if you are able to get your driver's license back.
Si les quitan el licencia, ustedes tendrán que tener un seguranza de más de 3 años.
So those are the reasons why it's important to comply with the judge's order, because the penalty for failing to comply with the judge's order is usually much greater than the original penalty for the crime itself.
Por eso es más bien de seguir el orden del juez.
So those are my comments. I don't really have much else to say about that topic. Maybe my colleagues do. We can amongst us, we can answer any questions if there are any questions about court operations.
¿Alguien tiene alguna pregunta? Anyone has question for judge? ¿Tienen preguntas ustedes, muchachos? ¿No? So, prácticamente hay que seguir las órdenes de la corte, ser puntuales. Si no entienden, hay que preguntar y hay que pedir un intérprete, right? Y seguir las órdenes, seguir los tratamientos, porque pues causamos problemas, ¿verdad?
Tengo una pregunta.
¿No? Have a question.
Yo que tengo aseguranza en mi licencia, ¿la voy a tener por 2 años?
I have an insurance, my driver license, so I'm going to have it for 2 years.
You're asking,
So, what,
you mean you're going to lose it or keep it?
¿La estás perdiendo? ¿Tienes aseguranza? ¿Cuál tiene? ¿La SR22 o cuál?
Sí, la SR22.
¿Por cuánto tiempo quieres saber?
Nomás quiero saber si la voy a tener por 2 años o 1
Oh, do I need to have my the insurance SR22?
Only if
2
you
years or 1 year?
only if you've been convicted of a crime, then you will be required to have high risk insurance for 3 years.
Si has cometido un crimen, tienes que cumplir de tenerlo por 3 años.
If the crime involved driving.
Si el crimen es de manejar.
If you have not been convicted of a crime, you just need to have regular liability insurance at all times.
Si no has cometido un crimen, entonces tienes que tener el seguranza normal.
Y un crimen es un DUI, por ejemplo.
The last thing I'll say is about interpreter is I know that some non-English speakers pretend like they understand what they are being told, but sometimes they don't always understand what they're being told.
Hay algunos de los intérpretes, hay veces actúan como saben qué es lo que le están diciendo, pero hay veces no lo saben.
From a judge's perspective, there's nothing worse than a person who doesn't understand what the judge is telling them.
Y lo más peor es el juez que un intérprete no sabe lo que el juez le están diciendo.
So
I'm sorry. Se refiere a que a ustedes cuando están en la corte y si no entienden lo que está diciendo el juez, entonces ahí sí hay un gran problema. Ustedes tienen que pedir a un intérprete para que les pueda interpretar bien.
it's very important that you let your attorney know or let the judge know if you don't understand anything. I mean, if there's anything that you don't understand, make sure that you make that known.
Asegúrense de decirle a su abogado o decirle al juez si no están entendiendo, porque hay ocasiones que hay intérpretes que están hablando, por un ejemplo, el MAM, pero el MAM, ahí en otras regiones se habla otro tipo de MAM. Y si el intérprete está hablando con ustedes y está interpretando lo que el juez dice y ustedes no entienden, tienen que decir, no entiendo al intérprete, no lo entiendo. Por favor, me puede, porque tienen que entender todo lo que se les está diciendo.
What she just said was, if you don't understand what's being interpreted for you, because there's a lot of different dialects in your language, make sure you let your lawyer know or the interpreter know that you are not understanding what's being said, because it's all for nothing if you're not understanding. Anything else?
Ya tienen la pregunta. He has a question.
We have online, we were asking what are the statistics of individuals completing drug court successfully versus non-completion?
Unfortunately, I do not have those statistics because we don't have drug court in the court where I worked for 24 years. Drug court is over in the county. I do have some county, a county judge, a couple county judges here, or a clerk who might know those statistics. I could guess, but I don't think that's what you want me to do. So unless anybody wants to help out in the audience, do we know what the statistics? You're one of the people that might be able to respond, Judge Hull.
In drug court and superior court, I believe graduation rate is somewhere typically between 50 and 60%.
Can I hear that? Judge Hull, thank you. Judge Hull believes that the graduation rate for drug court in Kitsap County Superior Court is somewhere between 50 and 60%. Does that adequately answer the question for that person?
I believe so. They haven't typed anything else in. So I
Okay.
believe so.
Thank you, Judge Hull. Hi.
Can collection accounts be resolved through community service?
Si cuentas de colección pueden ser resueltas por servicio a la comunidad.
Do you want to play with that one? I wouldn't say as a collection account. If you normally what a court's going to have you do is contact the collection agency. The collection agency is not going to let you do community service work for them. They're in there to collect the debt. What you would have to do is ask the court to recall the fines back to the court, and then if you have a good track record, and if the court was willing to let you do community service work, you could work your community service off for the court. The court would probably not want to pull it back until you'd actually done the work, but those arrangements could be made. You can also ask the court to reduce your debt with as regards criminal fines, but not traffic infractions. Right? Come on up. Yeah, this Commissioner Seaman, he knows all the stuff because this is his job.
Shorter sentences that which you can interpret.
Absolutely.
I forgot about the interpreter.
Thank you, Martita. So I'm Commissioner Seaman, and if I'll go slow so you can interpret it. I was asked to say some nice things about Judge Docter, and I'll get to that in a second.
Feel free. You don't need.
Go ahead.
Me dijeron de que digo cosas buenas sobre el juez y haré eso al rato.
But to the question that was asked, oftentimes what you can do is write a letter, and it'll usually come to the court. Most of the time it's reviewed by me, and I will look at each case individually and take into consideration the circumstances.
That's in the document.
Right. If it's Bremerton Municipal Court.
Si es en Bremerton, ustedes pueden escribir una carta y muchas de las veces él lo va a leer la carta.
And to sum up just a little bit about what Judge Docter was saying, I think that's appropriate for this audience. We're talking about accountability, but coupled with that is a concept of grace. In other words, what we would look at is how we can help individual defendants essentially get back to being productive members of society.
Hablaré un poco sobre el juez, sobre qué estaba diciendo el juez, de que cómo tratamos de ayudar a las personas que cometen un crimen.
And this is something that I wanted to follow up in my thank you to Judge Docter, serving with him for the last decade. It's something he has taught me about.
Y quiero darle las gracias al juez porque es algo que él me enseñó en los años que he trabajado con él.
And that's the importance of every individual that comes before us. We look at them as they have value and that they're a person that's entitled to due process.
Y es un proceso que queremos hacer.
Did you get all that?
Es un proceso que tiene valor.
Ajá, que tiene valor y
So this is something that Judge Docter has made a habit of his, even though he may not always say that. And that is, after he has given that due process, he spends a lot of time working with individual defendants, paying attention to what's going on in their life, paying attention to what's going on in their circumstances, and figuring out ways in his courtroom that you could help people.
El juez da su tiempo para ver y ayudar a una persona en su corte.
Y es una de las cosas que él pone mucha atención para poderles ayudar a resolver con el problema que traen ustedes o el caso que tienen. Él siempre en su corte, cuando él estaba en el corte de Bremerton, ponía mucha atención referente al caso para que se lleve a cabo y pueda proseguir bien de una manera eficaz. Pero usted tiene que seguir las órdenes.
So I just want to say thank you for your years of service, and you'll be very much missed.
Y solamente quiero decir gracias por su servicio y todo.
Right. Did any of the other judges want to come and just add to that conversation? All right. Any other questions? All right. Go ahead, Chair.
How does, I believe there's a driver's license you can get if you have a suspended license in Washington. So what if your license is suspended in another state and it's not suspended in Washington? Can you still get that temporary license?
And you're talking about what's called an occupational license.
Judge, can you repeat that question and then answer?
The question, she noted that in Washington, if in certain types of suspension of a driver's license, you can apply for what's called an occupational license to go to and from work or to and from treatment. And she wanted to know if you're suspended in another state, whether you're eligible for an occupational license in the state of Washington.
So, está diciendo, pues, la pregunta de ella es que si alguien tiene una licencia suspendida en otro estado y quieren aplicar para la licencia aquí, que si ellos puede agarrar la licencia aquí, se le llama licencia ocupacional, y esa licencia es nada más cuando alguien va es ocupacional, quiere decir como condicional, va de su trabajo a casa, o de su casa o a la corte o cosas así. Es nada más que les ponen bien limitado, es lo que está tratando. Y es la pregunta de ella, que si puede con esa otra licencia o aplicar aquí en Washington.
I am going to say that in the last legislative session, there were some major changes to the licensing and the suspension laws. I don't know.
En la legislatura de Washington ha habido varios cambios. Ahorita no sé, voy a preguntar si alguien sabe sobre eso, porque ha habido varios cambios. ¿Qué es lo que va a hacer?
You know?
How does the federal government allow Washington to ignore a suspension with federal compensation?
If they can see the record, they will honor the record. If it's a suspension in another state and Washington can see it, they will honor that.
So we're lucky to have several judges and attorneys in the room today. And one of them who's also been a judge for a long time has opined that because the federal government governs suspensions or laws throughout the 50 states, it's unlikely that they would allow the state of Washington to disregard the suspended status of a driver in the state of Florida, for example, or some other state, because if they're suspended there, they're suspended everywhere.
Okay. So, una de las cosas que están viendo, qué bueno que están aquí algunos jueces y procuradores de justicia en esta conversación, porque pueden estar ayudando a contestar la pregunta. Y la pregunta era que si podían utilizar una licencia que está suspendida en otro estado, y aquí también el estado de Washington la va a tomar en cuenta, porque no vas a poder manejar. Entonces, lo que están mencionando es que las leyes federales aplican en todos los estados. Entonces, no puedes manejar con una suspendida. So, aplican los 50 estados.
So the answer is probably not.
No. La respuesta es no.
All right. Any other questions or comments? All right. Can we give Judge Docter a round of applause? we appreciate you coming and sharing your knowledge and wisdom with us. That's really important. Many folks don't have access in this capacity to be able to ask questions and get answers. As it was mentioned before, I haven't met him, but sometimes you don't want to meet him. And so, what a great circumstance to have that conversation in a space like this.
Están agradeciendo al juez por estar aquí en esta conversación y dar su tiempo y explicar, ¿verdad?, sobre cuáles son las cosas que tienen obligatorias con la corte. Y bueno, no he tenido el placer de conocer antes a juez, dice él, pero a veces no quieres conocer un juez. ¿Por qué? Porque no quieres caer allá, ¿verdad? Pero gracias por todo.
All right. So what I want to do is I want to bring Martitha back up. I've already given her bio up at the beginning, so you know all about her. Martitha, you want to come back on up? Oh, I gave you a bio already.
Yeah, you did.
All right. So, gracias. Judge Hall, thank you for being here. Come over here up front, please. Join us. Join the family. Buenas tardes. Mucho calor. Mucho calor. Casi me voy a México. Bueno, yo quiero agradecer de corazón. Aquí está mi corazón. I want to thank you. Thank again every one of you from my heart for being here today. This conversation, it was very important for us y la comunidad. Quiero agradecer de corazón a cada uno de ustedes, al juez y a todas las personalidades que están aquí por estar en esta conversación, porque es muy importante estar en esta conversación donde se habla de las obligaciones que tienen ustedes con la corte, si ustedes tienen un DUI o tienen un cargo por cuestiones de drogas, drug or alcohol. So this conversation was very important. Y lo otro que tengo una carta por aquí. Creo que dejé mi bolsa tirada. ¿Me permiten tantito? I'm sorry, I forgot that my purse is in the floor and this never happened. Oh my gosh, wait. Oh my gosh. So the main reason I want to be here also is because I want to honor Judge Docter for all his years here in this community. To us, Kitsap Mesa Redonda was very important to honor him, honoring the honorable. Why? Because those 24 years on the bench, por esos 24 años que él ha estado trabajando en la corte, es un placer y un honor honrar a nuestro juez y le tengo para él. ¿Por qué? Juez. ¿Por qué hacemos esto? Porque él siempre se aseguró de tener intérpretes en su corte. That's why, because he always had the compassion and to making sure that he had interpreters in court. And he knows Spanish. He went to Guatemala, and he knows, you don't understand, and then he makes sure, oh, no, they're not, interpreting right. So, maybe it's from different dialect or so. So, gracias, thank you. And you want to say something, Judge? Let me put my purse back. Let me put my purse.
Yeah, I don't want to tell you how many times the interpreters have messed up, but thank you very much for this, Martitha, and for your dedication to the community. Oh my gosh.
Also, this is, he deserved this and more. So I know that he did everything with dignity. If he had to rule, and send people to jail, he did it, and people went with dignity. So this is for him, and it says, honoring the Honorable Judge James Docter. We wish you a happy retirement with sincere appreciation for your years of dedication and contribution in this community for 24 years. So presented by Kitsap Mesa Redonda, May 1st, 2022. Gracias.
Judge, what I'll do is I'm going to have you save your remarks for the end.
I don't have any remarks.
Well, you might have a few things because these folks actually are all in on the ruse.
Oh,
Yes, you came to speak, but this
Oh.
was all about you today.
Yes.
oh.
And so folks want to kind of come up and,
Yes.
and speak to you. And so we'll have the first person come up right now, and that would be Judge Kevin Hall.
Okay, Judge. ¿Quieres interpretar?
You pretend like you didn't even know this was happening.
What was happening?
Exactly.
Oh. Good afternoon, everyone.
Buenas tardes a todos.
My name is Kevin Hall, and I'm a
Mi nombre es
judge with
Kevin
Kitsap
Hall.
County Superior Court.
Juez de la Corte Superior de Kitsap.
I've known Jaime James for over 20 years.
Yo conozco a Jaime, a James, por 20 años.
And when Martitha asked me to speak regarding James today, I was a little nervous
Cuando Martita me preguntó si quería venir a hablar aquí sobre James, estaba algo nervioso.
because if you know James, you know there's a lot going on there.
Porque si tú conoces a James, a Jaime, sabes que varias cosas están pasando con él.
James definitely knows how to relax, but he also needs to be active.
Él sabe cómo estar relajado, pero también sabe cómo estar bien activo.
And one of the things that James has done over the last 20 years that we've all admired in the Kitsap legal community
Una de las cosas que James, Judge Docter, ha estado aquí en esta comunidad es que hace mucho y está muy activo y todos saben aquí en esta comunidad.
is just what Martitha was talking about, and that's integrity and showing people respect in the courtroom.
Lo que Martita estaba hablando es de que él sabe de integridad y el respeto
Are you
dentro
okay
de
with
su
this?
corte. You have, bueno,
Maybe you don't know this, but James, I believe twice, Judge Docter won an award while he was serving on the bench as Judge of the Year by the state probation department or organization.
muchos posiblemente no lo sepan, pero Judge Docter
Dos, ¿sí? Twice? Yeah.
2 veces recibió honores por estar ¿de parte de quién? I mean, from who?
Misdemeanor Corrections Association.
From, yeah, okay, there you go.
Pero las cortes de misdemeanors de los casos menores
And
de la asociación.
the reason for that is that he takes very seriously the commitments people have to make when they're sentenced.
Y la mayor razón es de que él toma bien en serio cuando las personas les dan la sentencia y el compromiso que tienen.
Judge Docter holds people accountable, but he does it in a way
Judge Docter, el juez Docter, él mantiene a la gente que ellos estén dispuestos y disponibles para poder que ellos hagan su trabajo.
that when
Ustedes.
people leave the courtroom, they feel that they've been heard.
Cuando la gente sale de la corte, ellos se sienten que han sido escuchados.
So I just want to say that it's been a pleasure. It's a pleasure to know James personally, Judge Docter personally, but he's helped all of us out in the legal community with all his knowledge and compassion. So thank you, Judge Docter.
Es un placer conocer a él, al juez Docter, por tantos años está en esta comunidad y bueno, le quiero agradecer muchísimo por todo lo que ha hecho en esta comunidad con mucho respeto.
And thank you, Martitha.
And gracias. No, thank you, Judge Hall. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. We will have Judge Jeffrey Johns come up now.
Yes.
Judge John.
Judge Johns. Yes. Un aplauso fuerte.
Hello, my name is Jeff Jans. I am a Kitsap County District Court judge.
Hello, yo soy Judge Johns, en Kevin Johns, soy el juez de la Corte de Distrito. Jeff Johns.
The pastor completely changed what I am going to say.
El pastor completamente cambió lo que yo iba a decir.
James has for over 60 years, every May Day, which is today, brought flowers to his mother.
Wow, James. Wow. James, por 60 años, él en mayo primero de mayo, le ha regalado flores a su mamá.
He sent to Judge Hall and me this morning pit flowers that he had with his brought to his mother today. This morning, he was at his mother's place giving her flowers again.
Oh my goodness. Él lo hizo, aún así que él tenía este compromiso aquí. Él estuvo comprando las flores, se las llevó a su mamá hasta Bremerton Island. Right?
Pastor, what you said about mothers, that's the epitome of a son who treats his mother with respect and dignity.
Pastor, cuando hablamos de madres, este es lo que un hijo hace para su mamá. 60 años con flores, todos los mayo primero.
I was going to talk about some things about Judge Docter and I that we've known each other for over 30 years. And I'm not going to, because I just don't think there's more I can say other than how he treats his mother. James, it's been an honor to know you. I'm going to miss you on the bench. You can harass me all the time on my phone. Thank you, James.
Yo iba a decir muchísimo más acerca de él, pero ya lo dijo el pastor y se trata ahora de su mamá y fue un honor y he estado con él. Gracias, James.
All right, now we'll hear from Gina Buskirk, attorney and former prosecutor and partner at Puget Law Group.
Yes. Ahora vamos a hablar con la parte de Gina. Ella es Buskirk y ella es una procuradora que ya se retiró de aquí en Bremerton y ella va a decir unas palabras.
Hi, everybody. My name is Gina Buskirk.
Hola, buenas tardes. Yo puse las buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Gina Buskirk.
I'm speaking as an attorney that has practiced before Judge Docter.
Estoy hablando como una abogada que estuvo antes trabajando con el juez Docter.
I started my career as a public defender.
Yo comencé mi carrera como un defensor público.
Then I became a prosecutor who was trained by none other than Judge Jans, who is here today.
Y yo fui entrenada como una procuradora por parte de Judge Jans, que ha estado aquí hoy.
And during this time is when I met Judge Docter, which was, I think, now about 20 years ago.
Y durante ese tiempo yo conocí a Judge Docter y eso fue aproximadamente 20 años atrás.
For those of us who practice criminal law, I think we all have to figure out what is our philosophy about the practice of law, whether we're prosecuting individuals or whether we're defending individuals.
Para nosotros que practicamos la ley, sabemos cómo vamos a proceder cuando entra a defenderlos y practicar la ley.
And I think that when you're a prosecutor, you have an awful lot of power and you need to learn how to use that power in a way that can actually make an individual's life better, if possible.
Cuando eres un procurador de justicia, vas a estar practicando tu ley, ¿verdad? Con las personas que tienen casos y tienes que hacer esto con mucha lógica y que puedas tú ayudarles a entender su caso.
And yet hold individuals accountable for any action that may have brought harm to the community or to the people they love.
Y también tenemos que asegurarnos de tener a las personas que puedan regresar a la corte, que tengan un commitment también, un compromiso, perdón, para que puedan seguir lo que les ordena la corte.
I think the best way to sum this up is to say that accountability and compassion are not mutually exclusive.
Una de las cosas que quiero decir que un compromiso y la compasión también, yo creo que esas son partes muy importantes para cuando se lleva un caso.
And with that philosophy, I think that as an attorney, I found a kindred spirit in Judge Docter who shares that belief in people.
En filosofía, lo que yo veo en el juez es de que es lo que ha hecho él con la gente.
I came from the Kitsap County Prosecutor's Office to Bremerton Municipal Court in 2008.
Yo vine aquí como procuradora de justicia en Bremerton en 2008.
And spent 2008 until 2020 with Judge Docter in court nearly every day.
So, yo estuve en la corte de nuestro juez por 8 años, no, 2020. Yes. So, por 12 años, desde 2008 to 2020. Yeah. So, 12 años estuve con él todos los días.
During that time, I won't say that we always agreed,
Durante ese tiempo no voy a decir que siempre estuvimos de acuerdo,
but I always felt heard.
pero siempre me sentí escuchada por él.
And just before he retired, I switched jobs and I now defend people who are accused of crimes.
Y antes de que él se retirara, yo me cambié de trabajo y ahora estoy practicando de abogacía, de abogada y defendiendo a personas de crimen.
And I was able to spend some time in front of Judge Docter as a defense attorney.
Y yo pude estar enfrente del juez como una abogada defensora en un caso que tuve.
Again, I won't say we always agreed,
Ya nuevamente no voy a decir que siempre estuvimos de acuerdo,
but we always had great respect for one another.
pero siempre nosotros tuvimos un respeto muy grande por el uno y el otro.
He was always well prepared for his cases.
Siempre él estuvo bien preparado para sus casos.
He always believed that a person could, at any point in time, turn their life around and improve their situation with making right choices.
Él siempre, como juez, creyó que esa persona que él estaba juzgando, siempre esa persona iba a regresar bien, ya después de cumplir la corte, y que esa persona iba a ser una persona de provecho.
He wasn't shy about calling somebody out when they weren't following his orders.
Él jamás le dio pena a hablarle a la gente cuando está enfrente de él que siguiera sus órdenes, como llamándole la atención. No le dio pena.
But he would freely give compliments and encouragement.
Pero él siempre dio cumplidos a las personas que cumplían con las órdenes y agradecerles.
When a person was showing progress and promise in their life.
Cuando la persona demostraba que estaba haciendo un progreso y estaba haciendo cosas buenas en su vida, siguiendo las órdenes de corte, él siempre se los agradecía.
And I would say, despite all of the years that we spent handling some very difficult topics,
y puedo decir que los años que estuvimos obteniendo unos temas difíciles.
We still always managed to have fun.
Nosotros siempre manejamos la situación de que el trabajo sí es algo estresante, pero siempre teníamos algo de diversión.
His sense of humor and quirkiness is well known throughout the county.
Su sentido del humor es muy bien conocido en todo el condado porque tiene muy buen sentido del humor.
And I wouldn't trade any of that time we spent.
Y yo no cambiaría nada de ese tiempo que pasamos juntos.
Doling out justice.
Dando justicia.
Arguing passionately before you.
Argumentando con mucha pasión frente de él.
And ultimately coming to some great resolutions for individuals that we dealt with.
Y a última hora todo era de cómo poder resolver todos esos conflictos que había y poder solucionarlos para ayudar a las personas.
And even occasionally, what were our favorite days was when somebody would return to court and wait patiently, until the calendar was over to ask if they could just have a moment to talk to Judge Docter.
Y cuando al final de la jornada de la corte, del calendario y todo, nosotros estábamos ahí cuando una persona viene y querían hablar con el juez.
These were people who would come and they'd wait through 2 or 3 hours of court just to let Judge Docter know how well they were doing.
Y estas personas son que tenían casos en la corte y ellos no les importaba esperar 2, 3 horas que terminara la corte para poder hablar con el juez. Lo esperaban.
Their degrees they earned in college.
Ellos se graduaron de decir, mira lo que hice gracias a ti. Graduaron del colegio.
How many children they had now?
¿Cuántos niños ellos tenían? Le compartían, mira, estoy bien con tantos niños.
And to have a moment to thank him for making an impact on their lives.
Y tener un momento con él de decirle y agradecerle el impacto que el juez hizo en sus vidas.
So, Judge Doctor, thank you so much for the time that we had together.
So, juez, muchísimas gracias, muchísimas por el tiempo que tuvimos juntos trabajando.
All right, Commissioner Seaman, you come on up.
I thought you already spoke.
I did already say nice things about you. All I'll say just briefly is the reason we're all here today with pastors and community leaders and Martita, that you brought us together, is because I think we all agree people matter and this community matters. And what we do in Kitsap County matters. And so, Judge Docter, we're celebrating you because you matter to a lot of people. And we're going to keep doing that. So thank
Estamos
you.
aquí con jueces y los jueces para celebrar a juez Doctor.
All right, Deborah Jackson, Surviving Change. Will you come on down?
Oh, you know, this is a choking matter because Judge Docter is so special in the BIPOC community. When I get people calling me, Miss Deborah, I'm not coming to court unless I see Judge Docter. I know I'm going to jail, but I get to go with dignity.
Hay algunas personas que llaman a ella para decirle que no iré al corte hasta que veo al Judge Doctor. Yo sé que voy a ir a la cárcel, pero ellos quieren ver a Judge Doctor.
Lo van a hacer con dignidad. So, van felices a la cárcel porque saben que van a tener un juicio bien pelotudo con él.
You know, Judge Docter, last week I had everybody here. The old crew, the Rosses, the Rays, Africa, Quarter. But she really wanted to say something. And I wanted to get her on the phone, if that was okay with everyone. Because she sends her much love and she wanted you to know that she really turned her life around. Just that the baby, her grandchild, is sick. But they all was here last week. Even me, early, you know. So my schedule was off. But I am going to go ahead and put her on the phone. Kathy Webb told me to tell you she sends her love. You know, and you know, she has a humpteen grandkids. So, and she does. And she's doing a great thing. So, and then she's working out of the office too at Surviving Change. But I'm going to tell you something. My brothers, and you guys know them, Alvin Turner and Andre, Judge Docter, they love him. They going to come to court if he's there. You know what I'm saying? If he's with them. And my brother rests in peace and everything. But I just wanted to say he loved you. And Alvin talks about you all the time. Judge Docter's leaving. And I'm going to tell you guys something. I know this is on video and I'll probably get slammed for this. But we're kind of worried. You know, you're gone. The BIPOC community, I'm just going to keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? The way you served us with dignity. Let us come to court and be transparent, be authentic. And then whatever judgment you had to make, we did accept it. And they did. And then there's some concerns, you know, and I'm just going to keep it 100. You know, you are truly missed in the BIPOC community. You know, definitely. Especially when I used to write all them letters to you before you got the forms, telling you, so-and-so needs community service. Can they do this and that? Stop writing me. He implemented the form. Definitely. But I love this man. I'm going to truly miss him. I'm still upset. You know, I really am. He knew I was. I just couldn't believe it. I was just shocked. But I just want to let you guys know that the BIPOC community, Justin Fields was here. You did many cases with him doing his own business. His work crew who came before you, they're all in business. They work for him now. So how he's changed his life. So he wanted to make sure I said that, and that he really loves you and appreciates you, and he's sure gonna miss you. You know what I'm saying? To help others along to where you brought him from, along with his father, Mr. Fields. So I just want to say that, but I have to get Carter on the phone. He used to, and she used to work for me. He said, Miss Carter. Yeah, Africa Carter. She's supposed to.
Hello?
Yes, you're on, Miss Carter.
Okay. So I just want to say greetings to Judge Doctor and all. And I wanted to personally thank you for believing in me when no one else did. And sometimes it was difficult finding my way. Thank you for being fair. You have had a major impact on my life. I am now taking classes towards my master's degree in paralegal studies. You were a great example to your community that you presided over. We will miss knowing you are presiding over us. I just wanted to also let you know the impact that you had on my life as well as the entire community. And we all love you, Judge Doctor. And you relax and catch a lot of fish.
Thank you, Miss Carter. He said, thanks, Africa. Yes.
I'm glad you're doing so well.
Yes.
Keep it up.
Yes. Thank you, Miss Carter. I just wanted to make sure you got. You're welcome. Love you. Bye-bye.
All right, I love you too.
Bye. So I just wanted to tell you, especially Kathy sends her love, Justin sends his love, the Rosses send your love, Emma Wella, Pearl, Ray, and she's working on getting it together. You know what I'm saying? Pearl is.
She's a work in progress.
Shut up. I cuss her out every day. I'm going to say, but I just want to let you know we love you. I love you. I'm going to really, really miss you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Much love. This is my friend.
Thank you, Deborah. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Yeah.
All right. Dawn Michelle, come on down. Dawn Michelle has too many titles to list. I don't know who doesn't know Dawn Michelle.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dawn Michelle Wilson. I live and work here in the community in Kitsap. And as Marwan said, I have my hand in a lot of cookie jars, but my specialty is giving back to the community and helping people change their lives. And I just want to share with you the very first experience I had sitting in Judge Docter's courtroom. Somebody said to me, "Can you please go to court with me? I'm scared to death." And I said, okay, those are the kind of things I do. I just kind of walk alongside of people. And so we get to the courthouse and we're on the way in, and I didn't ask a whole lot of questions. And I said, well, why are you scared of this man? And he said, well, I didn't do what I was supposed to do. And I said, oh, okay. So we get in the courtroom and I said, whatever you do, I wouldn't lie. And he said, well, I'm just going to tell him that. I said, well, I wouldn't do that. Judges have a way of knowing, And we get in there, and I remember sitting in the back watching this poor man go up there and try to lie to you. And I thought to myself, oh, this isn't going to turn out good. This isn't going to turn out good. And I remember thinking to myself, I feel like I'm sitting in court with my dad. Like the compassion and the humanness that was in that courtroom was amazing to me. And I sat in your courtroom many times after that with many people. And my advice to them always was, don't lie, he'll know. And they would say, well, how's he going to know? I'd say, well, he's a pretty smart man. I've seen him a million times in the courtroom. But I want to thank you because it's not always easy. Sometimes it's easy to turn a blind eye. And I know that in that easiness, the ability to change doesn't always happen. When people just become another name and a number in a courtroom and they're just shuffled through, the change that's needed doesn't happen. And I watched Judge Docter many times lean into that awkward, hard, uncomfortable space of calling people out. Like, nope, that's not going to fly with me. And I'd always just put my head down like, oh, here it comes. You're about to get pow-powed by Judge Docter. But I've also seen those lives changed, incredibly changed. And I'm one of those people that encourage people to come back and tell you what those changes are and show you. Because I know that it gets redundant. And I know that it's easy to lose hope when you see the same person in your courtroom over and over and over again. But I wanted to come here today and thank you for the changes that you've made in our community, because you have. And if I could bring in the string of people that I know personally, this whole room would be filled. There wouldn't be enough room. People who have stood in front of you and faced the consequences of their actions and were able to make the change because they were held accountable. So thank you for that. You're welcome.
Pues prácticamente lo que ella contó una historia de que ella va y ayuda, siempre acompaña a personas que tienen asuntos en la corte. Y lo que ella estaba diciendo es de que quería dar una historia que pasó cuando que esta persona tenía mucho miedo ir a enfrente del juez. Doctor. Y qué es lo que pasó, ¿por qué le tiene miedo a este hombre? Dijo ella, yo no sé, le quería echar mentiras. Es que yo no fui a la corte que tenía que ir a esta corte, no fui y le quería echar mentiras al señor, a él. Y dijo ella, oh no eches mentiras, porque te va a ir peor. Él sabe todo. Y si no la sabe, lo busca o habla por teléfono. No se lo inventa. Él es bien inteligente y a él no le puedes echar mentiras. Él lo sabe, su experiencia. So, ella estaba contando eso. Pero esa persona le dijo, ok, pasó enfrente y quiso de echar mentiras. Y no, dice ella, no. So, por fin, lo de la historia, el mensaje es de que nunca mientas a un juez. Ellos saben, ellos son inteligentes, tienen toda la información de ustedes, es mejor hablar con la verdad. Y aparte que esta persona fue que cambió la vida, aunque enfrentó las consecuencias de sus malos actos, pero le dieron cargo que tenía que dar y enfrentó la vida y gracias a él.
All right. So we have someone that will be coming on from Zoom, but until they kind of come on there, wanted to open it up to anyone else in the room that wanted to come and say some words, except for Pastor Johnson, because you already know what happens when he gets too close to the mic. No, Pastor Johnson, if you did want to say something else, you could do that for sure. Is there anyone else that would like to come and say some words? I think it's really important that we have these things that happen. I don't know if anyone has recognized you in year 5 or year 10 or year 15, but I think those things are important. To create community, to build relationship is tremendously important. And we shouldn't wait until the end of the journey to give folks their flowers. We say that saying all the time, right? We want to give them their flowers while they're still here, but you need to give them their flowers while they're doing the work and encourage them to continue to do the work and know that they're being supported and that they're being loved. And Judge, as I said before, you've been doing this for 24 years. I can't think of eating and breathing, sleeping. That's about what I've done consistently for that time frame. So that's really powerful. So Martita, why don't you come back up and just speak to some of the folks that couldn't make it, that have some words. Some people are fearful, and just kind of speak to that a little bit, because I think that's important.
Gracias, Marwan. First of all, I want to say Mayor Wheeler, he really regrets not being here. He wanted to be here, but he had another conflict. So he had another event, and but he's sending you his regards and congratulate you for this also event and award. And I'm going to speak on behalf of the Latino community. We have a lot of cases with español, ¿verdad? So, le estaba explicando que el alcalde de la ciudad, él no pudo venir, pero le extiende su felicitaciones al juez por estar aquí. Él tiene otro compromiso. Y voy a hablar de parte de la comunidad de que han tenido algunos casos con la corte. On behalf of the Latino community, is just expressing the gratitude. Also, the Matias brothers, you know who they are, right? Family. And also they were planning to be here, but they had another family matters. So they just want to say that the gratitude and thankfulness for when you were ruling, with justice and making sure that they had interpreters there. And it's just very thankful. And just want to say congratulations on behalf of the Matias brothers and family. And thank you, Judge, for all you did for them. And also others from the Latino community saying that we have here these gentlemen that they wanted to be here because they took the class, the victims panel, and they wanted to make sure to be here with you. So they also appreciate all the support they're giving in court with interpreters, and they wanted to know more about this conversation. So, le estoy diciendo que de parte de algunas personas latinas, familias que han estado enfrente de él en la corte, también agradecen porque él cuando estuvo dando su veredicto lo hizo con mucha justicia, con compasión. Si te portas mal, mal te va a ir, ¿verdad? Y más con el juez, right? You behave good, you're going to be, follow the court rules. Okay, but if not, Josh going to say, right, you have to follow my orders. Y con quien sea, con cualquier juez. Okay. Y también estoy diciendo que ustedes están aquí porque ustedes tomaron la clase y querían ustedes saber más y ser más responsables, ¿correcto? ¿Sí? So they appreciation for you, and they wanted to make sure to be here to provide, to give their accountability and follow court orders. So they were very excited when I mentioned to them to come here today, and they just took the class with me. So you guys graduated. Gracias. All right. So, Judge, again, thank you. And I think we're going to continue to give it to my one. Thank you.
All right. So our last person who's on the Zoom is Judge Tracy Flood. So, Tracy, you have the floor.
Well, greetings and good afternoon to everyone. I want to take this opportunity to extend a hearty thank you to retired Judge Docter and the years of service that he's given to Bremerton. And we definitely want to let you know that this position is one in which it's public service and giving back to the community, and how important it is to the Bremerton community as a whole, what it means to be able to have a full-time court in our city and serving the community and making sure that things are giving in so many ways. And so, Judge Docter, I hope that you're enjoying your retirement. Again, thank you for your service, and thank you for your continued efforts and the work that you continue to do in retirement. That's the time where you get to do. So hopefully that's what you're doing. And thank you to all of those that were here before me. And just thank you overall to Marquita for putting this together. And all those that come together to honor you and to give you this and your retirement in appreciation. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. So understand, judges are busy, and they still manage to make time out to come and honor and celebrate you. And the surprise was kept. So we thought this thing was going to come unraveled several times.
It was kept.
So now, would you like to just say some final words?
Sure, I would. And I had no idea, of course, because the secret was kept. So thank you all who were involved with this, especially Martita, sneaky Martita. I would just like to finish by saying, as to the accountability, I would be remiss not to mention my probation officer, Ian Cohen, because he was very instrumental in my ability to ferret out the facts and to keep people accountable. You can't really do it without that help. So I appreciate that. And I would just, in fairness to the other side of the coin, not everyone agrees with what was said here today as to how everyone loves Judge Docter. Not everyone loves Judge Docter, but I'm glad those of you who do love Judge Docter came out today to share that with me. I do very much appreciate it. Your words mean a lot to me, and I miss it already too, but it was 24 great years. So thank you all very much for being here.
All right. Well, we want to thank everyone for coming. I do want to acknowledge New Horizon Ministries and Pastor Ellington for having this space for us. And G2 for, again, putting on the food and having the podcast go. Rob, will you have all the staff to come in really quickly? They're still working back there, making sure that everything is good for you. So again, we hope that you'll stick around for a few minutes and enjoy the food and some refreshments and socialize a little bit, because we don't often get those times.
Thank you. Yes.
All right. Most of these folks hate being on camera. So, round of applause. Cherry, Sabrina, Keyshawn, Rob, Kelly, Stephanie, Monkey, Sabrina, please stand too. So that is G2, making it happen. Thursday, we had a neighborhood barbecue. So we're going to go to different neighborhoods once a month and build relationship that way. Every fourth Wednesday, we're here with the pancake breakfast. We have KCR and Bremerton Housing Authority and the county come in and share information and more organizations. So we're just trying to, as we kind of post-COVID, if that's such a thing, just try to build community back and build relationships. So, of course, you're invited to come and join. And if you have something that you want to share to the folks, we'd love to have you come and speak and just share that information. Martita, especially, this is her baby. She said, "Hey, I want to do this and I need some help. Can we make it happen?" I was like, "Yeah, we can make it happen."
Thank you.
Please, a round for Martita.
Thank you so much. The food is delicious. You guys have I love it. Thank you.
Thanks. Martita is always so well put together, but most people don't know she was in urgent care last week. So not doing well, but here she stands. So kind of like Maya Angelou, still I rise. So we appreciate your tireless, pursuit to be inclusive and to help people. So thank you. That will conclude our show. Again, please, if I've missed anyone, thank you, all the audience for coming. Everyone that's out on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.
And Miss Karen, also she wasn't able to make
it. Yep, keep her in our prayers. Yep, for sure. So this ends our broadcast. We hope that you will stay and eat the food because we need the food eaten. So thank you so much for coming. I am Marwan Cameron. This is The Conduit. We'll see you next time.